I was not expecting this much drama when I tuned into the Game Awards. Like, I don't even watch it live. I usually watch it afterwards so I can skip past all the boring parts. But man, was this awards ever so weird. Because, like, first off, you had devs getting upset at, like, the most, like, kid gloves roast I've ever heard. And, like, going to Twitter talking about how it's so unacceptable that they roasted them. And then you had like the whole controversy with like all the celebrities, and then you had the controversy of everybody getting cut off, and then you had the controversy of someone getting cut off when they were talking about and like trying to pay respects to the devs who died while working on their game. So let's get into it. So first off, you had Christopher Judge, who was like the voice actor for Kratos, who won last year for his performance, presenting the award this year, and he made this joke.
Not gonna stand up here making long speeches. I'm gonna stick to the script. No 8-minute speech like last year. But fun fact, my speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign.
What? It's like such like a baby joke. Like it isn't like insulting anybody. It's just saying like the game is short, and it's just like true. Their game was short, but that didn't stop Call of Duty devs and ex Call of Duty devs going to Twitter to talk about how it was so unacceptable. Funny, but yeah, the metrics that COD absolutely destroys all of the God of War games, probably combined, TBH, and is equally also laughable, if not more. I mean, all the metrics as long as you don't count quality, I guess. And he now works at Bungie, but I guess he used to work at Infinity Ward and worked on Modern Warfare. And then this guy's like, imagine having short user engagement once your game is consumed. Can't relate. He knows how single player games works, right? Once you consume the game, it is done. That's why their user engagement once you beat the game is going to be lower than a game that is a live service game. And he's an art director at Treyarch for Call of Duty. And then the one who's like clutching their pearls the most, instead of just like trying to jab back, was honestly, as COD developers, we've heard way worse, but we don't expect it from a peer at an event that's supposed to be celebrating this year's achievements in gaming, especially with all the information that was leaked about its development. So like the Game Awards is trying so desperately to be the Oscars and trying so desperately to attract like Hollywood and to like be their peers. And we'll get into that next because it's pretty blatant. But like, have they ever watched a Hollywood award show? It is just them constantly being roasted, and it's like way worse roasts. It's like talking about how they're like all shallow and artificial and so self-absorbed that they're just like in one giant circle jerk for these awards. And then they go on and talk about how they're all like predators or friends with predators or like cover up for the predator friends. And just everyone just sits there, takes it, and laughs it off because they know it's coming because it's an award show, so they have to make it entertaining somehow. But saying your game is short is too far. And also, people took his next comment really strangely.
Another company I'll never work for.
And for some reason, people are on Twitter being like, yeah, he's so base. He's saying he's never going to work for Activision again. And not realizing that was just like a part of the same joke. He's just saying like, yeah, I just roasted them, so they aren't ever going to hire me now. Like, I just shot myself in the foot. But with the whole Game Awards obviously just trying to like suck up to Hollywood and be like toe to toe with Hollywoods, or being like best friends with Hollywoods, or trying to be like Hollywood, or getting their good graces, you had people complaining how all of these celebrities like Matthew McConaughey, Anthony Mackie, and then Timothy Chalamet were there, and they got like more time to do their stupid BS than the people actually winning the awards. And I'll say like Matthew McConaughey wasn't too bad. He did like a couple quips and like kind of like bantered back and forth a little bit, but he pretty much stuck to the point. The one that stuck out was Anthony Mackie. It really felt like he was trying to like farm a clip or something, but he had no idea like what he was doing. Because this is like only 2 minutes too, but it just felt so strange and felt so long because the whole speech was like littered with this stuff.
Don't you yell at me. I love you more. I love you. What is wrong with y'all?
They're young because you aren't saying anything. You just keep responding. You just fucking read the card. It was so annoying to watch this. It felt like he was trying to get a Keanu moment, except no one loves him as much as people loved Keanu. And the Timothy Chalamet, he literally just came on stage, said, "Here's the orchestra," and then the orchestra did their thing. And then he said, "And the winner for Game of the Year is," and that was it. He said nothing else. It could also be because at this point, Game Awards was like running behind, so they cut all of his lines. But yeah, like I've had this problem with Game Awards since the start. It always seems like they're trying to get like all these Hollywood actors, like Robert De Niro one year, because he cares about gaming, to come and like try to make their like award ceremony legitimate. But it just always felt so weird and gross to me. Like, we have a bunch of voice actors and talent within the gaming sphere. So why not just use them? Why not use all the big voice actors that everybody loves? Why keep trying to like pay all these celebrities who don't care about you to come to an entertainment field when you made a field that is the largest entertainment industry in the world without doing that? Like, it feels like such little brother syndrome. Like, you're bigger than them. Just use your own talent. I even go as far in saying, like, I don't like when I see celebrities in video games. Like, I know everybody loved Keanu Reeves, and like, sure, I guess you can make exceptions to people who are super loved by the fans. But like, the gaming industry was built without them. Now that it's super successful and like the most successful entertainment industry in the world, we don't need them. It feels a lot like when esports started off like as like the small local stuff and slowly built and built and built until like you had like CPL and stuff, and you started having like all these international tournaments, and then they decided like, oh, we're going to ignore all of that, ignore all the personality that we had, that the community built, and we're going to become just like sports. We're going to put on a suit and tie on everybody. We're going to stop swearing. We're going to stop all the personality, and if you do swear or do anything we don't like, you're going to be fined. And then esports has been on the decline ever since, because everything that was great about it is being slowly taken away and killed to try to appeal to a broader audience. But then again, I have an issue with like celebrities making their own podcasts, because like, why do they need more money? They have movies and TV, like, let someone else get some easy money. But whatever, moving on. But another thing that got everybody upset this year at the Game Awards was, so last year you had Christopher Judge, and he made the joke about it that he spent 8 minutes on his speech and it was super long and everyone just wanted to end, and it just kept on going. And this year, did they ever overcorrect? Because like, everybody, it seemed like, had like maybe 30 seconds, and then they played the music to get them off the stage. And they only handed out like a handful of awards. Most of the 3-hour runtime was like musical performances or ads or like premieres. So you had stuff like this happen.
Gracias, Aleta, gracias, y Coco también. And to my agents, I will thank you later. I'm sorry, I'm going to wrap it up apparently. One thing I will say, please, if that's okay, the community has reached out to so many of us at Larian and said they were seen and they were represented by this game when they lost hope, they felt isolated, they felt alone, and this game brought them together and gave them something to push through to help them all. And to you, I want to say thank you so much for seeing us. I appreciate it.
So when I first saw this, I thought, okay, that's a little awkward to play him off when he's doing that very like progressive speech. But I thought like, oh, maybe like the slip up, like he kind of stuttered between I want to thank, and it looked like his speech was like petering out, and then the music came on and he started thanking his agents. So you can kind of see, like, I thought maybe, oh, okay, it was clearly they thought he was done and his speech ran out because he stuttered and he didn't seem like he had anything else to say, and he started playing the music. But that happened to everybody. Like 30 seconds and like their time was up, the music started to play. And it wasn't just the men that were getting played off. They also dared to play off a woman. Like, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I saw multiple people bring this up where they pointed out that they even cut off a woman.
Thank you so much for being such a wonderful partner on this game. Thank you.
The Geometric team also wanted to thank.
And then she keeps thanking everybody. See, oh God, I'm gonna get a Twitter thread about me. I just cut off the woman again. But she keeps on just talking and the music keeps playing. But here's what I think happened in this case. So these speeches aren't scripted. And you can clearly hear this guy
Wonderful
like end.
partner. Thank you.
And they think the speeches are done because you can hear the music.
The Geometric team.
It is like completely different than every other like wrap it up music.
He has reached out to so many of us at Larian and said they were seen and they were
So every other award had that like very like orchestra stringy music, and the music played here was the transition from the acceptance speech into the next reveal. It wasn't the wrap it up music. So it was clearly they thought the speech was done and they were just moving on to the next thing. So that's what happens with live shows. Now, I will say, even though it sounds like I'm defending them, I definitely think they need to give award speeches more time. We definitely don't need 8-minute acceptance speeches, but 30 seconds is a little much. But the big controversy was Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, and they were giving their speech, and they were talking about how they had devs die during the production of this game, and one died like a month before the game got released. And while this was going on, this is what they were seeing.
Spent their hearts and souls for 6 years on this game in sometimes very difficult circumstances. This was our COVID game.
So this started off as a 30-second
Along
countdown.
the way, we lost quite a few people also, so we want to dedicate this to all people we lost, and especially to Jim, our lead cinematic artist, who passed away in the last month.
That is such bad timing. So like they aren't playing the music, so I feel like they just started the countdown and this is just like an automated thing. But it's a really bad look when you've been cutting everybody off all the time. And like as production, you have to have somebody catch that and just stop it before it happens. Because then you get videos like this that makes it look terrible. And like Jeff did come back after the award show and like say that they have to like kind of look into it next year and make some changes. So hopefully they make some changes, like maybe like a minute to a minute and a half max for acceptance speeches will be better. You might be able to like run one less ad, maybe two. But I think everybody else will be happy then.